Hey and welcome, I'm Hammeh, a bit of Overwatch related lore news for you today and a quick roundup and then a bit of channel news as well. First things first, lore news wise we've got a new comic coming very soon. Roadhog's going to be the star. Hanzo could be on his way to Heroes of the Storm for those of you interested in that game. And finally, a bit of a quick discussion on the future of my channel. I'd love to know your thoughts on what you'd like to see from me in future. Time codes in the description below if you'd like to skip. First up, we have a new comic incoming. Now, PC Games End, several other websites including IGN yesterday, released a first page and the cover of the next Overwatch comic. It's going to be called Wasted Land. It's written by Robert Brooks. Now, he was credited on Trainhopper, that was the first comic McCree's last year, and also the third, Going Legit, which was the Junkrat and Roadhog escapade in Sydney. So, Robert gets to continue Roadhog's story. Miki Montlo is the artist, and you'll probably, if you're a fan of this channel on Overwatch lore, already have seen his work in the Reflections comic, particularly the double-page spread where we saw all of the slice-of-life moments of the different Overwatch heroes. The preview bio for the comic reads thus: The Omnic Crisis brought ruin to the Australian outback. Roadhog knows this better than most. He's seen it descend into an apocalyptic wasteland. Everything he once knew has been broken down, irradiated or scrapped. Now all that's left is Junkertown, the place that hermits, scavengers, brutes and killers call home. Roadhog hasn't put it out of its misery, not yet, but he's been tempted. So with the cover page showing Roadhog with a bag on his shoulder ahead of the open gates of Junkertown, we might be able to assume that this is going back in time, before the events of the plan, before Junkrat and Roadhog's global crime spree, perhaps, who knows, even before they first met. We can't tell quite yet, but it's certainly before the current day in the Overwatch timeline. At the moment, due to Junkrat and Roadhog being kicked out by the Queen, they are very much shut as far as we know. As for the teaser panel, well, we see a bunch of, they could be junkers or they could just be scavengers or other outback dwellers attempting to savage from a farm on the outskirts of Junkertown. Now we recognise the sign because in the actual Junkertown level, that's outside the Junkrat and Roadhog type buildings on the edge of town. The various people question why no one's tried to salvage the farm, and one of them seems to know better because they say if we wake the hog, we're dead, whereupon Roadhog storms out of the building. Now, it's kind of interesting that we're taking a look more in depth at Roadhog. Obviously, Junkrat and Roadhog have had a comic of their own before in Going Legit. They've also had the little Moment in Crime animated teaser before they were announced as heroes before Overwatch launched. So these guys, along with Junkertown the level, are getting quite a chunk of story. A comic too, as well as layering even more on top of it. As for this comic, well, you don't have long to wait at all. It's going to be out tomorrow. That's Wednesday, the 6th of September, apparently. Now, in terms of time-wise, that could be any time from the morning in West Coast USA to lunchtime-ish if you're on the East Coast, 5 to 6 PM or so if you're in the UK or EU, and if you're in Australia or that neck of the woods, it'll be about midnight or the next day, of course. So this makes perfect sense considering that Junkertown the level is just around the corner and it's a nice extra bit of story to go with it. I was wondering if we'd get something on one of the characters we've not seen so much on, but let's not forget, of course, that at San Diego Comic-Con we got a teaser of a panel of a Zarya comic that's since been confirmed as being worked on by Michael Chu. So there is a Zarya comic coming up where she seems to be defending an Omnic in what seems to be Dorado from perhaps Los Muertos gang members or otherwise, with Sombra's Sugar Skull symbol in the background. Why is Zarya defending Omnics? Why would she be in Dorado or similar in the first place? Why is Sombra's symbol in the background? And what is she doing against Los Muertos? Lots of interesting stuff there. And of course, another comic that could be coming soon, perhaps even at Blizzcon, which is of course only a couple of months away now, in November. Okay, next up a little bit of Overwatch or Heroes of the Storm crossover type news. Now many of you might have played Heroes of the Storm as Overwatch fans to grab yourself some skins like Oni Genji, Officer Diva, and similar things like that. Well, it might be time, it seems, for a new Overwatch hero in Heroes of the Storm, and perhaps pretty soon. Heroes of the Storm latest hero, Kel'Thuzad, the legendary Archlich of the Warcraft universe, and also very prominent in World of Warcraft, has had a documentary series on YouTube recently, where Blizzard have been going through the remaking or reimagining of a very classic Blizzard hero. Now, like Overwatch videos, occasionally things can be spotted in the background of Heroes of the Storm videos, and eagle-eyed user Spellather on the Heroes of the Storm subreddit noticed in one of the documentaries this particular page. It seems to be a screenshot of an internal Blizzard wiki or intranet page, and the top two left lines can be seen as being Hanzo and Alex Straza as potentially new heroes. Now, there is a leaker in the Heroes of the Storm community who, a few months back on the subreddit, shouted out a few heroes that might be released. These were Stukov from the StarCraft world, Garrosh from the Warcraft universe, Kel'Thuzad from the Worldcraft universe, and then a StarCraft Firebat, Ana from Overwatch, Junkrat from Overwatch, and apparently Alex Straza from Warcraft. So whoever this leaker was managed to get Stukov, Garrosh and Kel'Thuzad right. Who knows what's going to be next? But Blizzard probably don't put these things in by accident. So whether or not the Reddit leaker was correct, this screenshot from the official Blizzard video with Hanzo and Alex Straza seems to match up with the fact that maybe we'll see Hanzo sometime soon. Have you played any more Heroes of the Storm since the Nexus challenges? Do you enjoy the game? Do you play a bit of it? And would you head over to give Hanzo a go if he releases? Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. So last but not least, thank you so much for supporting the channel, and I'd just like a few minutes of your time and a few of your thoughts on my channel's future and what you'd like to see video-wise from me and on this channel in the weeks, months and hopefully years ahead. I will be continuing to do Overwatch lore for you, don't worry about that. I've got a few big long videos I've been working on for quite some time. The first of those is going to be ready in the next few weeks, so keep an eye out for that. But you've basically got a decision, or I'd like to have your opinion on one of 3 ways ahead. Now, I'd like to make maybe another video or a few more videos a week for you, but I don't want to go the route of releasing daily about Overwatch. Long story short, it's not because I think there's anything wrong with that, but I think there's a lot of that already. I don't want to go the full news route, for example, and I like spending my time on making some longer, more edited stuff. And you guys, if you've supported the channel, I think you enjoy that mostly as well. So I've kind of got 3 different routes or 3 different ideas for you. Would you like to see me explore more different kinds of Overwatch content? So I've tried to do some sort of little skit, mockumentary, funny type things like Planet Overwatch. Check that out if you haven't checked it out already. Maybe some gameplay and my kind of adventures, or mostly mishaps on my point in gameplay, or more in the Overwatch world. I can certainly explore that more away and around the lore and little bits of news I do. So that's one option. Another option is perhaps doing something like exploring other games' lore. So I play and enjoy a lot of games. I have in the past and I will do in the future. There are loads of games coming up that excite me quite a bit at the moment as well. So would you like to see me try the lore of some other games? And if so, what games would you like to see? You may have seen on the channel that I've done Heroes of the Storm lore series with lore interaction and voice lines, very much like my Overwatch ones. Some of you watch those. I know that some of it's quite heavy, like the StarCraft lore, like the Warcraft lore, like Kel'Thuzad, Stukov, those kinds of things recently. They may not be everyone's cup of tea, but I'll keep doing those because I enjoy them and a bunch of you guys seem to enjoy them too. And those of you who won't watch them have just said, well, I'll watch your Overwatch stuff, but I might not tune into that. So that's fine, but I'd like to know what you would like to see for other games away from Overwatch, other stories that you'd like me to have a look into, other kinds of things. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Last but not least, other kinds of gaming videos. Now, I like my history, I like storytelling, away from gaming story, away from Overwatch story. I love games and I love stories. So would you be interested in seeing me playing some games, my thoughts on them, maybe things like reviews, games I played in the past, kind of retrospectives, sort of pieces, maybe like documentary, mini documentary type analysis of things on games I've enjoyed, maybe reviews of games, anything sort of in the wider stories kind of area or the wider gaming kind of area. Any other kinds of videos that you'd perhaps like to see? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I have some ideas, but I'd like to hear from you guys what you'd like to see me try to make. Now, what I do with all this, during the week, I'm going to be releasing Overwatch videos, so don't worry about that, with maybe the odd, if there's the odd Heroes of the Storm one that comes up or something, it might drop in during the week. I'm trying to think that for the next few weeks, every Sunday, I might like to release like a little test, a little different video, something to try out based off what you guys suggest to see what you think of it. So maybe the weekends, if I release a video on the weekend, that'll be the different video and it'll be Overwatch mostly during the week. So I can also play other games on stream as well. I do stream occasionally, maybe twice a week or so. I don't have a schedule just yet, but I'm trying to get that locked down. It's twitch.tv/HammehOW, so do come there, check me out, and maybe that can be the place that we do other games, for example. I've been having a big conversation with patrons and my supporters over on Patreon. The link is in the description below, it's in the comment below. Now it's completely public, so don't worry, you don't have to pay or support me on Patreon or anything to get involved in that conversation. You can just sign up and chat away in the comments there. Main thing is I'd just love to hear your thoughts, so if you can comment in the comments below if you've got some time, or come back later, just let me know the kind of stuff you'd like to see, other games, other Overwatch content, things you might not like to see, and the frequency and things like that. I have asked you guys before about whether you think I should start a new channel. I've had to think about it. I probably shouldn't do that right now, but I'd like to, as I said, maybe every Sunday release sort of a little different game or a different lore video or something a little bit different. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you'd like that to be. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your support of the channel. I will, of course, be coming back to analyse that Roadhog comic tomorrow, so do come back tomorrow to my channel for that. Really looking forward to it. And if you enjoy Overwatch lore, story, interactions, news, whole bunch of other stuff, the sounds of the game as well, do have a look at all of these playlists here. Cheers for tuning in. Hopefully see you soon. I've been Hammeh. Take it easy.